to my YouTube channel. Today I am here with Charlie.
Hi.
And Jesse. So anyways, before we get into what I'm doing this video with these guys at their farm, make sure to like and subscribe. So today, obviously, I'm at their farm. Their beautiful farm. Just look at those luscious leaves. There will definitely be another farm montage in here. By the way, I filmed another video at their farm recently. It's called Hide and Seek at a Farm, so go check that out. I will try to link it in the description. I will see if I can do that. But yeah, so check that out, and let's get into the vlog.
Okay, it's Charlie filming, and right now we're just heading up to the barn where we're going to do our first challenge. Rowan, do you want to explain what our first challenge is?
All right, so as you know, and as you've probably seen if you watch the Hide and Seek at a Farm video, their farm has some animals. They have a horse named Ella, and they have a donkey named Natalie, and some goats and sheep and lambs. And so they obviously have some horse tack and things like that for riding. So we're going to go in the barn. We are opening the doors. And we are in the barn. So what we're going to be doing in here is I am going to be sitting somewhere, closing my eyes. Me and Charlie will take turns, and she is going to put something in my hands, a piece of horse tack or something in the barn, and I'm going to have to try to guess what it is. So let's get started. Look at all the goats. Hi, guys. Ella, stop nuzzling my camera. She is not shy around cameras, that is for sure.
Guys, it's Ella, and it's time for round 1 of the tack guessing challenge. So Rowan's going to sit down on this bucket.
And I'm going to close my eyes.
Okay, and I'm going to pick out a piece of tack.
I'm scared. I know it's not going to hurt me because it's just tack. But, whoa. Oh, I know what this is, but I can't. Is it a crop?
Yes, it's a crop.
Okay, so I know what this is because I use it all the time for slow horses at the place that I ride, which is Three Springs Ministries. It's not meant to hurt the horses, it's just meant to tap them lightly to get them motivated to start moving and ask them to move if they're moving slow or if they're not moving at all. All right, so now it is Charlie's turn. Close your eyes, and I will pick out her piece of tack. All right. So, trying to be quiet so she doesn't hear me. I have this. I'm going to put it in her hand.
Oh, I know what this is. It's a helmet. Okay, so this is a helmet for horseback riding. Helmets for horseback riding. This is actually my dad's helmet, but they are just used to protect your head from a fall because you can get head injuries. So when you ride a horse, always make sure you're wearing a safety-approved helmet, and make sure that, like, if you fall and hit your head with the helmet on, you should replace that helmet, because even if you can't see damage on the helmet, it still could be damaged. So just always wear these when you ride. They're a safety thing, and yeah. Okay, this is Venus here, and now it's time for the second round. Both contestants have 1 point. Okay, so Rowan's just gonna sit down on this bucket, and now it's her turn.
Bridle.
Close.
Halter and lead rope.
Just a halter.
Oh, okay.
So you basically got it. Okay, so sorry, the camera just cut out for the last part, but Rowan gets half a point, so yeah.
All right, so this halter, or other times it's called a head collar, it basically is like a collar because it attaches to the lead rope, which is what you use to lead a horse around when you're not like actually riding them, when you're on the ground and you're just leading them around. So it's kind of like a collar because the lead rope is kind of like a leash, so it's basically a collar except for horses, and it goes around their head like a bridle. Now it's Jesse's turn to choose a piece of tack. What's he gonna pick?
I'm nervous. I don't want him to knock down everything.
All right, now give it to Charlie.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. This feels like a lead rope.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a lead rope. We talked about this sort of when Rowan talked about halters. So this is basically just like a leash, except it's for horses. So it does not have the little like thing that some dog leashes have, because I think it's because like if you did that, then a horse could like drag you. So when you're using a lead rope, never wrap it around your waist or your wrist or any part of your body. Always hold it like doubled over like that, or just hold it, because if it was wrapped around you, or you had it like around, like if it was wrapped around you and your horse spooked, which means they get scared of something and run off, then you could have been dragged by the horse or just have been really seriously hurt.
Hey y'all, it's Natalie, and I present to you the third and final round of this challenge. So now Rowan has 1.5 points and Charlie has 2. So Charlie is in the lead, but let's see what happens next. Why am I so scared? It's not gonna, whoa, that's furry. It's so furry. It's a girth.
You can cut it out.
So this is a girth in Western. It is called cinch, which for some reason, I don't know why I said girth, because I ride Western. Charlie has been wearing off on me. She rides English. But anyway, this is a girth, aka cinch, and it attaches to the saddle and goes under the horse's belly, and it basically keeps the saddle on. Right, so come over here. I don't know if I can get it. I'm knocking things down. Okay. I'm making a bunch of noise.
Whoa! Oh, this is a saddle. This is an English saddle, and this is the way I ride. There's Western saddles right over here. That is a Western saddle.
This is the way I ride.
Yeah, but this is an English saddle, and then a girth attached. This is in somewhere. Oh, right here. This is an English girth. The girth that I gave Rowan in like another round was a Western cinch, but this is an English girth. This saddle's pretty old, and it's like kind of all cracked, so I don't use it. But yeah, this is an English saddle.
And the winner of the tack guessing competition was Charlie. I got a half point one round, and Charlie got all points all rounds, so congratulations. All right, so now we are in the barn, and we're going to talk a little bit about our experiences with English and Western, because I ride Western and Charlie rides English. So we're just going to kind of talk about our experience with that and English and Western stereotypes. So let's get started. So this is a Western saddle. First of all, it is way bigger and heavier than an English saddle. And second of all, this is a cinch, not a girth. But the stirrups are also kind of like wider, and instead of these more skinnier metal stirrups, we have kind of
Chunky
leather stirrups. Yeah, chunky leather stirrups. And the saddle just kind of, for an English saddle, you have to like post and hold yourself on with your legs. But a Western saddle kind of holds you up, and it's way more comfy, in my opinion.
Yes, it's way more comfy. So this is an English saddle. As you can see from the Western saddle, it is much smaller, and there isn't really a big part right here, so you kind of have to use
Saddle horn?
Yeah, there isn't a saddle horn there because it's just a different type of saddle, and some saddles, like this one right here, have things called knee rolls, I think, but this one does not. They're just things where you put your knees, and the difference sometimes, you kind of have to work more on balance, and since there isn't as much like support, and also when you're trotting, when you ride English, you can do the sitting trot, but normally you post, which means you go up and down with your horse's rhythm, like of their trot. So that's something else you have to learn when you ride English. And then our stirrup leathers are much smaller, and they're very skinny. Stirrup leathers are what hold the stirrup on. And then these stirrups are also metal. I mean, there can be metal Western stirrups as well, but these ones are very skinny, and they just look a bit different. So yeah.
All right, so now we're going to talk a bit about our riding experiences and the places we ride, like English versus Western kind of, the things that we do in our riding lessons. So I guess I'm going to start. I ride at Three Springs Ministries.
And I ride at Minor Leap Stables.
And so normally what we do is the horses are normally in the space that we brush them in when we're there. We don't have to like go out in the pasture or get them from their stalls or anything. So we brush them and we pick out their hooves, and then we lead them out into the arena to kind of work on moving the hips around and having them follow us without using the lead rope and little exercises like that to get them warmed up.
Yeah, and for me, sometimes I will get my horse out of his stall if he's in his stall, and then we'll groom them, pick out their feet like Rowan does, and then we'll lead them up to the arena after we tack them up, like put all the saddles on and the bridles. And usually then we'll get on and make sure our girths are tight, which makes sure that the saddle does not slip, so that way we won't fall off, and we make sure our stirrups are the right length for our legs. And then we usually take a lap at the walk to get our horses warmed up.
So yeah, after we get our horses warmed up in the arena, we get on, we put our bridles on first, and then, because normally when we're tacking up, we just put our bridles on the saddle horn, and then we put our bridles actually on the horse when we're out in the arena. We check our cinch, and we check our stirrups to make sure they're the right length, and then we hop on, and sometimes we go on a trail ride for the whole lesson, and sometimes we just work in the arena if it's like raining or it's really cold outside, it's winter or something. But since it's summer, we've been going on a lot of trail rides since it's super nice out all the time.
Yeah, and at Minor Leap Stables, after we get our horses warmed up in the arena, since there's usually only one other rider with me when I take my lessons, we usually go up to trot and we work on different exercises such as sitting trot, where you don't post, because in English you post the trot. And sometimes we'll just trot around for a bit so we can practice, and we'll just do a few laps of the trot, and then sometimes we'll do like exercises, like we'll stretch on the horses, which is really fun to gain our confidence, and that's usually it. So now we're going to talk about times we've fallen off of horses. Of course, me and her have also fallen off horses.
You just remember my name!
Sorry. Anyways, so if you've fallen off a horse, or if you ride and are scared about falling off a horse, that's totally normal. And if you have fallen off a horse and are nervous, that is totally normal too. That's all happened to us. People will fall off at some point. That does not mean you're failing at all. It just means you're actually being pushed out of your comfort zone, which is a good thing. I've fallen off 3 times. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've fallen off 3.
So which one do you want to talk about? We probably only have time for you to talk about one time.
Okay, do you want like the most embarrassing one? Do you want the least embarrassing one?
Most embarrassing.
Really? But do you want the worst one? You want the worst.
Most embarrassing.
Worst one. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the worst one.
Fine.
So I was riding this pony. Her name is Princess Buttercup. She's like a halflinger, which is a breed of pony. But anyways, so you would never expect that this cutie patootie pony would do such an evil thing. I mean, it wasn't evil. Maybe like a wasp stung her, but it's kind of cute that she did that. But it was terrifying also. So there was this crack in the arena fence where like they had to fix it, but it wasn't fixed yet, so there was like this pole over it.
Oh yeah, can I say something real quick? My arena is inside kind of, and it's sand. Her arena has sand too, but her arena is outside.
Well, we have
mine
2
is inside.
arenas.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. But I was riding in the outdoors, so the fencing, part of the fence was just like a bit broken, which is totally fine as long as they like have it fixed. But somehow Princess Buttercup went under that pole, and then she got me stuck in a corner, and then she went under that corner in the fence somehow because she's tiny. And then there's this tree right outside of the arena, and one of the branches went like whack and knocked me off the side of her. So I didn't break any bones. I was fine. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. I just had a cut on my chin, and I lost a lot of confidence. But yeah, so she basically ran off, and then someone had to catch her. So I'm still building up confidence from that, which happened like a year ago. So it does take a bit to like build up confidence. But if you do fall off a horse or have like a horse accident like that, it's like, just take it slow and like just build up your confidence. It's fine if you're a bit nervous, but always just tell your instructor if you're nervous, and then they'll do like some confident exercises and stuff. So
yeah. On the flip side of that, I think falling off when I fell off actually helped me build my confidence, because I was like, now I've fallen off, now I'm not scared of what the worst can happen. So I was riding this horse, McGraw, and we were on a trail ride. He's a grumpy old grandpa, and he's normally really slow, but we were going down a steepish hill. Like, notice I say ish. It wasn't like really super steep or anything. but he wanted to get down it as fast as he could. So he just started like running down it, and I wasn't using my normal saddle that day, so my saddle was really slippery, and I just like slid off. And his as he was walking over me, like I just saw hooves cross over my head. And as he was walking over me, and I think his foot like knocked me or something, his hoof, because like it kind of felt like he had stepped on me, but if he had, it would have been much, much worse. He didn't step on me, but his hoof must have like knocked me or something because it took the breath out of me. I was fine. I didn't break any bones or anything. I just had to breathe and regain my breath.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I got the wind knocked out of me,
Yeah.
and then I just had like a scrape on my chin. But the same for me, like bad things can definitely happen on horses. That's why you need to wear helmets and like
Yeah.
practice in a safe environment with a good instructor, and like ride sensible horses. But also sometimes if you fall off, it's totally fine too. Like things could have been much worse, but they weren't, which is amazing. So.
Yeah, and also talking about like confidence and talking to your instructor if you didn't want to do anything. So on that trail ride, we were going towards this creek, and we call it Porcupine Rock, and we were supposed to like walk our horses into the creek and then come back out. But I was really scared to do it on my bra because I had just fallen off, and I was like really scared to do anything else, like kind of treacherous on McGraw. So I asked my instructor if I could like skip out on that, and she let me do that. So that is really great. So yeah, that's kind of something to add on. So for our last thing, we are going to talk about some English and Western stereotypes. We've kind of experienced this with like movies and shows, and also just what normal people think of English versus Western. So we're going to kind of just be talking about what we think of those stereotypes and kind of, yeah. So what's the first stereotype? An English stereotype, Charlie.
Okay, so some people, not all people of course, and definitely not a lot, like this is not true at all. Some people do think that English people like is like snooty, and they're like, oh, my top hats. I don't know anyone who's like that. I mean, some English people can be snooty, but also some Western people can be snooty. It's not like any like, just because you do dressage, which is a type of English riding if you don't know, does not mean you're snooty. Just because you ride English does not mean you're snooty, so no one should think that. It's just not true.
And also, there's this show I was watching. In like one of the seasons of the show, they were like doing dressage against these people, and English riders in that show and in other movies and shows as well are kind of portrayed to be like snooty, and mostly they are always the villains, which is not a really good way to portray English riders because they are not like that. Most of them that I know, like you are definitely not like that.
I know a lot of English riders, and they're not like that at all. It's not like this type of person who does this thing on this horse is snooty.
Yeah. And now for a Western stereotype.
Which one?
So I think a Western stereotype sometimes, maybe not as big as the English stereotype, but that Western riders are like yeehaw and like wearing cowboy and cowgirl hats, and like they're all like cowboys and cowgirls just like riding in the West or something. That is not how Western works. We can do things that English riders do.
Yeah, it's fine if you're like a cowboy or whatever, and like no, like it's not like that's bad or anything. But if people who think that that Western riding is just that, or that like Western riding is for beginners just because of the security of the saddle, none of that is true.
Yeah.
Like you can be a super advanced rider and ride Western, and like
Do we have any more stereotypes to talk about? Or like, can you think of any more English stereotypes? Those were the two big ones of Western and English, I feel like.
Yeah, so let me think.
I think a big one is clothing. Like Western, you have to wear like jeans and cowboy boots or something like
or like
that.
like the fringy half chaps. Or
Yeah.
Like
And then in English, you gotta wear those fancy boots.
or you have to wear like the fancy show jacket or like the top hat. Like
Because you can do Western and English with sneakers.
well, you can't ride with sneakers. Don't listen.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but it's bad.
Yeah, well, some people who are beginners, they do ride with sneakers.
Yeah, just the reason you should not, like, it's fine if you ride with sneakers, but, like, the reason I think it's dangerous is because with boots, like, you don't have this heel. Like, with boots, you have this heel on most boots that, like, keep your foot from sliding forward in the stirrup. Like, if you're riding stirrupless, it's fine, but also...
you want your foot to be forward. You want the stirrup to go around the front of your
I
foot.
know, but if like there's no heel, then it could go. Your leg could go.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So like, and that's just not very safe. But also, if you do ride in sneakers, it's not bad as long as you're being safe. Hello. Why are you biting that? Okay.
There's also a goat staring at us.
Yeah, there's a goat staring at us. This is like the weirdest environment to be filming because like there's a horse doing stuff. There's like a goat being like, "What you doing?"
And
over
Natalie's
there?"
butt is right there.
Yeah, Natalie's butt is over there, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we covered some important things like English and Western stereotypes are normally not true. I mean, of course,
There are
English.
some exceptions.
Yeah, English and Western riders can both be snooty. And anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun here today with Charlie. Yeah, bye.
Okay. It's an English saddle with a girth attached, right? Or no?
Charlie.
No. It's got.
Other hand.
Wait.
Over here.
Oh. Okay.
No, Charlie, I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
Right there on your arm.
That was a ninja.
What the heck?
I can't believe we both managed to mount like. Don't try that at home, kids. Aww.
Questions?
Yeah!